niggas claim that I fell off. I guess you could call this a comeback. On my solo dolo shit like Mike Rose, with 2 cities on both shoulders, still never walk with hunchback. After all these haters told me get my weight up, so I jacked up on steroids to make it from minors to majors. Used to be a broke little nigga. Now all I do is count my paper, so why should I apologize for the life that I done earned? Got my finger up to my critics like, fuck them, let the track burn. If the flow hostile and I'm hot now, what the fuck would I wait my turn? I call me a problem child of exactly why I live a life with no concern. So for all those take shots, I might be saying prayers for your earn. Rest in peace to your career. When the fuck y'all gon' learn? Cause I eat beef like shark, we gon' beef for the whole year. And I won't stop till I'm on top like a shit down like a sheriff. Excuse me. Can you hold my mic for a second? Cause I feel like I'm the shit, nigga. Cause I gotta do my dance. All I need is a new Bugatti and I'ma be legit, nigga. Excuse me. Can you hold my mic for a second? Cause I feel like I'm the shit, nigga. Cause I gotta do my dance. All I need is a new Bugatti and I'ma be legit, nigga.
Yo, we live, baby.
We live. What's good, homie?
Man, feeling great. How are you?
Second job, clocked in. That's all that matters. What's going on, man?
That's what it is, man. Hey, look, we out here grinding. We out here work. Well, I ain't out here working too much. All my shit is still kind of shut down a little bit. Everything I do is pretty much at the hands of this here laptop, and you know, it's working out for me. So,
but all right, everybody, welcome to Convos at the Shop Fight Night. Episode 4.
Oh, y'all thought I keep telling y'all thought, oh, they gonna fall out. Nah, we here.
Like the song say, last year niggas claimed that I fell off. I guess you could call this a comeback. What? We ain't going nowhere. You already know what it is, man.
It's going too good. Oh man. We had some stuff going on this weekend. We had some action.
UFC, boxing.
Boxing. Man. Oh man, Terrence Crawford, sir. I need you to calm down. You can't just be rocking dudes like this. Like Kell Brook, and shout out to Kell Brook. Kell Brook is a very, very real, very established, very good contender. And looked, at the outset, it was looking like, okay, Brook's boxing with him, bro. We trading a little bit, and my brother kept saying, he's like, Crawford set him up. He set him up for something.
Mm-hmm.
Boom, one shot. That man stumbled 3/4 of the ring back to the ropes.
Boy, Crawford nasty, boy. What are you talking about?
If we do not get, assuming Errol Spence beats Danny Garcia, which I think is coming up next month, we need to get this. Boxing, you have a shot here. You have a shot here, boxing. Like, we don't have to just talk about MMA and UFC here. We can talk fights. Boxing, you got some stars on you. Like, there's some good. We just seen the Lomachenko that was Teofimo Lopez that beat him, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
That just happened. Great fight. You just have Terrence Crawford. You got Errol Spence versus Danny Garcia coming up. We're not going to talk about that exhibition fight that's coming up because we've talked enough about it.
I don't see why not mention it. You got to at least mention it on the show. I mean, we got Mike Tyson about to knock out Roy Jones Jr. What is it, on the 28th?
There's your mention.
Oh, you that salty about it?
There's your mention. We don't need to go. We don't need to go in. We don't need to go any more in depth on that. There's your mention. Yeah. Either way, once again, this is, the thing with boxing is these dudes have different promoters, and if they can't work out, then them fights don't happen. So I'm very hopeful that, Terrence Crawford is more or less kind of the only dude under Bob Arum, at least with all of those other guys in that range. So I'm hopeful that can be figured out because I need Terrence Crawford, Errol Spence Jr. I need that fight. It has to happen.
You paying for it? 'Cause, 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 'cause,
may or may not have options at my disposal.
Good answer.
That allow me to see things without paying for them.
Good answer.
However, it is a fight that I would have no problems paying for.
Good
it's
answer.
probably one of the only boxing matches that they could make that I'd have like zero hesitation. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll throw down. I'll throw down to 60 or 70 for that. Whatever. That's one that has to happen.
Hey, yo, just do me a favor as your co-host. You know what I'm saying? Just send me the link.
Hey, look.
Just send me the link, bro.
We'll figure something out. You know?
All right, bet. I'm gonna hold you to it. So, first topic we got, of course, Saturday UFC Fight Night. We have Felder versus
Rafael dos Anjos.
There you go.
AKA RDA, former lightweight champion.
Right.
In his return to lightweight, and he got a split decision win that kind of rubbed some people the wrong way. And the scorecards were wild. And I don't know if I saw more issues with the Dos Anjos. It was split decision. 2 judges scored at 50-45 for RDA. One scored at 48-47 for Felder.
I like that one a lot better.
I can't see I've seen both sides. I've seen some people say 50-45 is wild, and I've seen some people say, how could you have Felder winning that fight? And I'm on the former of that. 50-45 was crazy to me.
Yeah, it was.
It was a good fight. It was a close fight. It was not close. I do think RDA won the fight. I think he controlled it. Like, if this was Pride and you just scored on the totality of the fight, RDA wins the fight. Like, let's get that very clear. You know,
I'm glad you cleared that up.
Let's make that very clear.
Okay.
But this just goes into one of my biggest pet peeves, and that's how people judge and score takedowns. And it bothers me to no end that I feel like if a round is, unless someone is just completely dominant on the feet, you get a takedown and you hold them down for a minute and a half, you pretty much got that round. And that's how it feels, where it's like, okay, you know, we spend the first 2.5 minutes, which the first three rounds of this fight kind of followed the same script, more or less. They're on the feet at distance. Felder is getting the better of them, not in any dominant fashion, no huge, stumbles or you rocked him or anything like that, but is the better of the strikers, which he is clearly the better striker. And then they get to in the clinch game. He kind of pushes them to the fence. They clinch for a little bit. Dos Anjos gets him to the ground. He holds him down for a minute and a half, give or take. Felder eventually fights his way back up. And, a little more clinch battles. They trade some clinch strikes, and then they kind of push off, and they trade some distance strikes again. Dos Anjos did hit him with, 1 or 2 bigger shots.
Especially after
powerful. Absolutely. After the break, and he hits him with 1 big shot, and then it's like, oh, yeah, that's Dos Anjos round clear.
Yeah.
It's like, is that clear? Is it for sure? He did not land a single significant strike on the ground in the first 3 rounds of the fight. Not one significant strike. And very little in the clinch. Like, there were,
Paul was definitely more active in the clinch.
He's more active.
From what I saw, he was definitely more active in the clinch.
He was more active in the clinch. And I think it was especially in round 2 where he's on his back and he's throwing elbows off the back. He's moved. And it feels like a lot of times that just doesn't count for anything. Right. And it's a guy, they switched these rules up a couple years ago where, if I'm not, the wording is something to the likes of, you're scoring on the results of the action, not just the action itself.
Right.
In other words, that's nice that you took him down, but if he gets up and you've done nothing to it, what does that matter?
Right.
If you held him against the fence, okay, that's nice you held him against the fence, but you didn't do anything with it. Your damage is still equal. It's difficult for me if you take someone down and you have him on the ground for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, and someone still has more total strikes, more significant strikes than you in that round, that means you're not doing anything on the ground, you're content with lying there, or he's doing something that's not allowing you to do serious damage, in which case shouldn't that count for something too? Isn't effective defense some criteria as well? Like,
I mean, well, look at it. I mean, we got 5-minute rounds, right?
Right.
If I control the fight, if I control every round, right, for 3 minutes, don't matter how I control it. Like, especially on the ground. If I'm on the ground for a minute and a half, 2 minutes, you get up, we in the clinch, another minute, whatever. Right. But after that, I land 2 big shots, and then I could get you back down on the ground. I mean, if you can't get your shit off, I mean, I'm not too like the scores to me are crazy. Like, I don't see how he won all 5 rounds. Like, to me, he at least won the second round. I think you said backstage you got Felder winning the second and the fourth.
I have 2 and 4 for Felder, yes.
So the scorecards are crazy, but how they score it. I mean, like I said, if I got you on the ground and you can't get your shit off, even if I'm just holding you there and I'm not doing too much like ground strikes, and at the same time, it's the ref's job to stand us up. If he not feeling like, if he feeling like I'm not doing the work, it's his job to stand me up. You know what I'm saying? It's not my fault. I'm gonna keep you down here.
It's a lot of interpretation.
Right. I can see it both ways, though. I definitely can see it both ways.
It's a lot of interpretation, because it's not like RDA was just sitting there. Like, he was trying to make moves. He was trying to get in better positions, and Felder is Paul Felder. He's really fucking good. Right. You're not just going to do that on him. And it's just, I look at a round. So, for instance, I have the stats pulled up here. 4th round, Felder outlanded him 26-19, significant strikes. 39-34 total strikes, and Felder actually got the takedown in that round, and eventually Dos Anjos was able to move and get on top. But he also only landed no submission attempts, and I believe one significant strike on the ground. And clinch strikes were relatively even. 8 significant clinch strikes for Dos Anjos, 6 for Felder. So how is this, without a doubt, a Dos Anjos round? Felder even scored the takedown himself in this round. And we're more or less even in the clinch. You didn't do anything on the ground. There's less than 2 minutes of control time for Dos Anjos on the ground, and I clearly had the advantage at distance. How was that a Dos Anjos round?
Right.
Because he was able to hold him down for a minute and a half, close to 2 minutes on that. It bothers me. There needs to be some more clarification on how to score these rounds like this. Because
I was just about to say that. It
is. That's what it comes down to. Is somehow they've got to figure out how to clarify this stuff, because there's too many fights like this where someone takes someone down. They're not really doing much. A lot of times the guy on the bottom is more active. He's trying to get submissions. He's throwing elbows off his back. And then, they works his way back up, and then the dude takes him back down. They're on the fence, and he takes him back down. And it's the same story. And then they're like, well, he was on top. He took him down. He won it. I'm like, yeah, but the guy on the back was doing the damage. The guy on the back was doing the work. Like, it's difficult. I don't want to act like it's always easy to talk from the couch or wherever and say it should be like this. And in the moment, stuff is way more difficult. That fight ticked off, a sore spot for me, because we've been bringing it up pretty much every episode. That's to me, that's the reason why they gave Cejudo the fight against Mouse.
This is why you're mad. Okay.
No,
okay.
It's not why I'm mad.
That's what it sounded like to me. It sounded like as soon as you mentioned that fight,
I knew the second I mentioned it.
You knew I was going to go off. The minute you mentioned that,
there's other fights that go into that. Carlos Condit, Johnny Hendricks was one for me that was kind of the same, where it was like Hendricks would take him down and hold him down, but off his back, Condit is just working, and I'm like, yeah, Hendricks took him down. He couldn't get up, but he was working him off of his back. Like, shouldn't that count? Shouldn't that mean something? Shouldn't that mean anything? But it's a long-standing thing. I don't hate wrestling. My brother hates wrestlers with good reason. But I don't hate wrestling. I hate inactive wrestling.
Right.
And it feel like too often inactive wrestlers are, they know that they can't get someone else. It's like, oh, well, get up. Well, way easier said than done. Right. It is not easy when a really good wrestler knows how to control you to be able to get up off the ground. But if I can't, and I'm still doing work, and I'm throwing these elbows, I'm throwing strikes off my back, and I'm trying to get submissions, and this dude is content with just kind of laying there for the most part, maybe moving a position here and there, and then here's a couple short strikes. It's difficult to score, but I feel like 95% of the time it errs on the side of the wrestler.
Right.
And it gives, in a sport where they try to place a premium on action, a lot of the advantages are given to wrestlers.
Right.
And it sucks. It's difficult. It's just something that's long been a thing, and it needs to be explored again. To me.
Right. I think they need to change the judging, man. Like, I understand they get the judges from the athletic commission or wherever they at and all of that shit, and they can't supply their own judges. But, man, if I'm Dana, man, like, what's his name? Rogan. I don't know if it was Rogan or Schaub who said this, but one of them was like, yo, if I was the UFC, what I would do is I would put former fighters in there that actually know what to look for.
Right.
And how to score these cards, or at least if you're going to get outside judges, at least put them through like a training program or something. Like, I know they go through that shit, but it's literally like, it's not like how a UFC aficionado would score the fight. It's basically how they view it.
It's a lot of boxing judges.
Right.
It's a lot of boxing judges who
right.
Which
is surprising though. Like,
right. But you see, there's a process. They have to go through the commissions. Like, that's just all that stuff is, you can't. They can't. It took them this long to be able to get in with all these good commissions. They literally just got New York, 2 years ago? Like, they're not they're not just suddenly about to be like, man, fuck the commissions. You run around like that's not gonna happen. But there's got to be a way they need their own rules. And I think even like a lot of people don't like the 10-point must scoring system. That's a boxing thing. And there's a way for, you can create your own scoring system. Like, the commission doesn't force you to use that. You chose to use that.
Right.
And even something like that is something they can tweak in. A lot of people like the half-point system, which I'm not opposed to either. This 10-9, these two 10-9 rounds are not the same.
Right.
Maybe a 10-8.5. There's a lot of things improving. But again, the things that I saw in the aftermath of the judge's ruling, and it just ticked off another thing that's a sore spot for me as an MMA fan. And it's just like, well, as it ended, I'm going, that was a good fight. That was a close fight. And then to see 250-45, it's just like, come on. Don't.
Yeah. That's when the judging be getting me too. But like they say, man, don't leave it in the hands of the judges, bro. Like,
right.
You see what you get. Like, that's the shit I don't understand. Like, I know they're trying to knock the guy out. Like, I'm not saying he didn't try, but
which is something else with fans that piss me off. Oh, just knock him out then. I'm not always in control of that.
It's not that easy, bro. You go in there and think, I'm gonna just wild out and knock him out. Okay.
Do you think I'm not trying?
Okay.
Like, what? Okay. You see he's gonna do this, rush in there and throw some punches. He wants me to do that.
McGregor Aldo, go watch it.
Right.
Forrest
Griffin, Anderson Silva.
Go watch
he tried to. He very much tried to run forward and create pressure.
Run up and get done up.
Greatest highlight to me, the best highlight fight of all time in MMA. It was beautiful.
Right.
But that is what it is. That.
So
what are you gonna do?
What you got next for him? What you got next for RDA? Title contention now?
He's definitely gonna be in that top 5 range. I mean, he should be. It's Paul Felder.
He was ranked what?
Paul Felder was 7th or 8th, if I'm not mistaken. One of the two, 7th or 8th. Either way, he's a top flight guy. You beat him clearly, regardless of the circumstances. And yes, obviously it was so RDA moved up to 6th. RDA, the UFC official rankings have him at 6th right now. So, if I think it's dependent on some other fights that's happening. I would say if he loses his upcoming fight, why not make the fight that was supposed to happen that didn't and do RDA and Conor?
Oh, Jesus Christ. I had a feeling you would mention this.
If he were to lose, that fight makes sense to me.
Why? Why should we help RDA get paid? Why? Because like I got Conor like on speed dial. Like
You're right. This is
part. Like I'm on a proper 12 sponsorship team. Like why should we help RDA? Like what has RDA done except he was former champ? I give you that.
I was gonna say the man's a former champ. Let's not sell him that short. He's a former champ. He went up to welterweight and beat some good guys at welterweight. He got a win over Robbie Lawler at welterweight. I think he's got a win over Cowboy at welterweight too. He's not he dominated. Showtime Pettis. Dominated him.
I mean, that's another name where I could be like, he not really on his shit either. So I mean,
no, he dominated Wheaties box Showtime Pettis. Like not this one that we're not so sure, but Pettis just won the belt, and we thinking this might be something, and like RDA destroyed him. All I'm saying is, Felder win is a good win. Maybe that's a little much to do that. It's just something that popped in my head as a fight that was supposed to be made, but never came around. Never came.
I think Conor said he up for it. Conor said run it.
I'm sure.
So I mean, I'm gonna follow the GOAT. Like
right. Conor's with the shit. Like, Conor always been with the shit. I could also see Charles Oliveira, who's on a decent streak. They both got wins over Kevin Lee recently. And they're basically
they're not on this shit though. It seems he's not consistent at all.
But Oliveira, they're actually tied for 6th. Oliveira and Dos Anjos are tied in the 6th spot of the UFC rankings. So to me, I'm not mad at that one. That'd be a good one for him to see if he could rise. You've got Dan Hooker hanging around there, but they usually like to match guys coming off wins or coming off losses. But I would not mind seeing him and Dan Hooker. That'd be a fire. That I didn't know. I knew of Dan Hooker. I'd seen a couple of his stuff, but that Poirier fight sold me. Even though he lost the Poirier.
That's kind of the same fight he just had, except I mean,
it'd be time.
Hooker could actually knock RDA the fuck out. Like that's literally like that's the difference. You know what I'm saying?
There was like 17 times where I thought he was about to knock Poirier out, and Poirier's just made.
Poirier's a dog.
Right, exactly. Which is why even in that loss, Hooker still sold Hooker to me, even though he lost that fight to Poirier, because Poirier's that dog, like you said, and Hooker was right there with him the entire fight. So I wouldn't be mad at that, even though he's coming off that loss. I would not be mad at Hooker, who I don't believe has any fight lined up.
Right. And that fight, his Poirier's fight with Conor is at 155, right?
Yes, that's at 155.
I don't like it. Conor took this fight without me.
He should have hit you up to get some.
He should have hit me, bro. Because like me, honestly, bro, the shit I've been seeing Dustin doing, I don't think Conor just gonna go in there and get him the fuck out of here. Like I just don't see it. If Conor's gonna win the fight, he has to.
Right.
Like I'm still on that point. Like if he don't get Dustin out of here by the third round, the fourth and fifth round are gonna be hell. Like Poirier is a dog, man, for sure. For sure, man.
Yeah,
sure.
nothing due for Hooker. So I could see that fight. I could see RDA and Hooker as the next fight. I'd be absolutely fine with that.
What you got next for Paul? You think he should retire, hang it up?
No.
Fighting,
Paul
right?
is what? Yes, God, yes.
Shout out to Paul, by the way, bro.
That man had the fact that was even a competitive fight says
what 5 days notice? He had to cut 20 pounds?
Cut close to 20 pounds, kept it a 5-round fight. He could have made it 3 if he wanted to. No, Paul Felder, even he said, like, because he was on, like you brought up before the fight, you know, he had been kind of questioning whether he should retire. After the fight, he was like, oh, no. He was like, it even kind of showed him like, yeah, I got a lot left. Like, if I could be to be that competitive with a guy like Dos Anjos, who's the worst type of style to take on that short of a notice without having a training camp and make it a competitive fight, he's got to fight. And
then the man did Contender Series on Tuesday.
Right.
After a 5-round war.
Right. Nah.
Respect, Paul.
For sure. Maybe have him fight the guy that he replaced, Makhachev, who's still looking, you know, obviously they were looking for him to get a big step up and see if he's going to do something. So maybe have that. Maybe have him fight that guy, even though he's lower in the rankings. You know, Felder's not going to get the guys above him, especially coming off a loss. So stopping one of those little prospects, to me, would seem like the best possible idea, in my opinion.
Right. Okay. Anything else in the card you want to talk about? Chaos?
Not Chaos. I mean, look, Chaos starts that dude on one punch. Like, shout out to Chaos.
Perfect name for that, by the way. You got to knock niggas out with a name Chaos. You got to.
I love it. I mean, that's something to get you noticed. You know, it don't take much, and you get a knockout like that, that'll get you noticed. I was seeing some stuff about maybe giving him the winner of a fight that's coming up on this pay-per-view card between Mike Perry and Tim Means. And I'm not the biggest Mike Perry fan, so I would love to see Chaos go and try to wreck
Mike Perry. Ooh.
I've seen it. I'm not gonna take credit for that idea. I think that was on Sherdog, if I'm not mistaken, that I saw that possibility thrown out as that. And I love that. Him versus Mike Perry.
Fight of the night type shit. Fight of the year type shit. What are you talking about?
I love that idea. I would absolutely love that.
That's fire. That's the best one you've come up with. That's fire. That's fire.
Yeah, that one. Credit to Sherdog. I was looking at different ideas, and that one, when I saw that, I'm like, yep, no, you're not getting better than that. You are not getting better than that. So if he were to, like I said, that's coming up this Saturday. That's on the main card of the pay-per-view coming up. 255.
We just about to get into that 255 preview. Boy, this Saturday. Right.
Ooh. Flyweight card, baby. Flyweight titles, both of them.
Shit, I guess we can't go through the whole card. You got Mauricio Arua versus Paul Craig. Who you got? Shogun.
Look, all respect to Shogun, future Hall of Famer. I think he's done.
Shogun. Who you got?
I'm taking Paul Craig.
Taking Paul Craig on the Shogun.
Paul Craig. Look, you bet with your heart, you bet with your head, not your heart. And
Mighty Mouse versus
Shogun has shown me nothing that very, very little. I'll say he's shown very little that would lead me to believe that, you know, he's still got a lot. Now, in fairness, they did fight before it was a draw. So even fight, but I'd have to go back and admittedly, my apologies. I didn't go back and check this one out. I don't remember exactly how it went. It was last year, if I'm not mistaken, a year ago.
Right.
But I just, it's more about my. I don't have much faith left in Shogun. He's just one of those dudes. He's still out here, and you got to put him out there. And look, I mean, Jesus. As I come here, Paul Craig doubled him in total strikes and significant strikes in that first fight. So now I'm kind of curious as to exactly how this ended up being a draw. Now I really want to see what happened.
That's on the list.
That's something I got to check out. But yeah, it's more so just I don't have that belief in Shogun anymore. I'm a fan. The man's a legend, but he's past his days. His best days are past him. Right, so right. I can't go with him.
Right. Okay. I don't really care who wins this fight, but I'm gonna pick Shogun, man. I'm gonna go against you just because you ignored you ignored my Cejudo comment and acted like you didn't hear it a second ago. I'm going with Shogun. We're gonna prove you wrong this Saturday.
We'll see. We'll see. I hope this is another one of these fights. I feel like there's one on every single card over like the past 2 months where it's like, look, I'm rooting for you. Please prove me wrong. I'd be happy if you prove me wrong, but will have belief that you're going to? No. Unfortunately, it's
how shit works out. Yeah,
it is. It's just what it is.
Some of a fight coming to be most recent is I'm rooting for you, bro, and I'm gonna pick you, but
right.
I think you're gonna get washed. All right. So next fight we got Cynthia Calvillo versus Caitlin Chukagian. I guess
I like Calvillo. I like Calvillo. If I'm not mistaken, this is the cousin of a friend of mine, a guy that I used to work with.
Oh, really?
Calvillo, if I'm not mistaken, I believe it's her. A guy Raul I used to work with. Real cool dude. Tells the worst jokes of all time, but real cool dude. I'm pretty sure this is his cousin, if I'm not mistaken. Calvillo's good. Calvillo's really good. And quite frankly, I think this is her number one contender spot. And I don't think she's going to blow it.
Right.
You know, they're looking for more people to fight Shevchenko, and I think Shevchenko is someone who's very much like Mouse in that I want to beat everyone in this division. Yeah, they done got the better names. Oh, you could do this fight up here and this, crossover fight with this other champ, and I think she's very much like I'm going to clear out this division. This is especially for, and much like Mouse, she spent a lot of her career fighting at another division, at a weight class up that she should have been fighting at. I think because of that, it's more so like, I'm going to clear this out. I think this is Calvillo's chance. I think if Calvillo wins, she's getting that next title fight, and I think she's going to do it. Chukagian is good, but we just saw what – first off, you have one of the worst nicknames I've ever seen in my life. Her nickname is the Blonde Fighter. Really? Come on.
It's pretty bad.
That's awful. I like Calvillo. She's been impressive to me, and I think she knows what this. I mean, sometimes people get to these moments and it gets too much for them. I don't think this is going to be the case though. I like Calvillo. Unfair to judge Chukagian by how badly she got destroyed by Shevchenko. But that being said, I like Calvillo.
Yeah, I got Calvillo too. Most of Caitlin's fights go to decision, bro.
Yeah, and Calvillo's kind of
a better grappler.
Agreed. Her wrestling, I do. She wrestles control the fight. As much as I don't really care for it, wrestlers use control where the fight's played. Yeah. And Calvillo is usually really good with that. And I lean towards her using that to kind of control. I could see a lot of kind of clinch against the cage stuff, some potentially. But I got Calvillo unanimous.
Bet. All right, next fight we got Mike Perry versus Tim Means. Who you got?
I don't care for Mike Perry, but he hits really, 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 really hard.
Yeah.
Tim Means is a good fighter, but I think this is kind of I think they're kind of throwing him out there I think this is their attempt at a bit of a showcase for Perry. I'll say that. I'll put it like that. I think they still see some star in Perry. He's an entertaining fighter. He likes to stand. He likes, he's going to throw them shots, and he throws them to try to knock people out. And he can wrestle some.
He's going to take a lot of shots.
Right. He's going to take some shots as well, but he can wreck dudes. And, Tim Means, in fairness, is one of those guys where, we're just going to throw you out there and we're going to, throw you out. And this is just for Perry to get, his show off. And Tim Means will be like, you thought. And very much like how the Glover Santos fight, we're trying to get him back, and that this is a good solid vet to throw him into. That's a good win, and that vet is still good, and Tim Means is still good, and like you said, Perry does get hit a lot. He got knocked out in his last fight. Let's not forget Jeff Neal knocked him out about a minute and a half. So Perry can take some, but he tends to take a little too much damage. But Tim Means isn't necessarily the guy that makes you pay in a way that a Jeff Neal, who's coming out to finish dudes and to throw some hard shots.
I see most of his fights end by 2 KO or KO, bro. 66%.
You said who?
Tim Means.
Yeah. He's got some. He's willing to stand. I don't think this goes out of the first round.
The first round KO Mike Perry?
I got my regardless of who wins, I think it's going to be a first round KO.
You think it's first round period?
I do think it's first round period. But I lean towards Mike Perry. I think he's trying to get back on that. Get himself a good little run going. I think the UFC kind of wants him to get a good little run going. Tim Means ain't no joke, and Tim Means will absolutely wreck a dude if he's. Mike Perry's there to get hit. I'll put it like that. Mike Perry is there to get hit, and
Pinata. This definition of Mike Perry, bro. Like every fight that I've seen, it was like this dude don't even play defense. Like
I'm trying to
he don't keep his hands up at all. Like he doesn't care to get hit.
He really thinks he's indestructible sometimes.
He acts like it too. He definitely acts like he takes a lot of shots.
Yeah.
He's not all that, bro. He got a couple screws loose.
A couple. He got 17. He's off one. But I'm still gonna lean towards him. I would not be surprised in any way, shape, or form if Means finishes this, if Means beats him. And like you said, it's not like Means don't got knockouts or anything. He does. He ain't won by one since, in 2 years. He's got one. He has one knockout finish in the last 4 years. So, and that was against somebody named Ricky Rainey, who that might have been his only UFC fight ever. But yeah, he's got one knockout win over the last 4 years. So I don't think it's to the case of Jeff Neal where Neal is really, really starching dudes. Means has that in his earlier days. I don't think he's going to make you pay as much, but if there's a guy who will allow you to do it, it's Mike Perry. I just think Perry's going to get to him before Means is able to get to Perry.
But all right, next fight we got your girl.
You already know. Yeah,
whatever. Valentina Shevchenko versus Jennifer Maia. Do I even have to ask you who you have?
Can I hold on? I have who I got because she's. First off, actually, before I get to this, UFC, y'all are trying to catch these fades. Y'all are really trying to catch this fade.
Why? Because they want to see her get washed?
No. Because as I was looking through the rankings the other day, trying to look up different people and certain fights, I come to the women's pound-for-pound ranking, and Weili Zhang is ahead of Valentina Shevchenko? Fuck is wrong? What? Stop it. Ain't no end. No. Under no circumstances, Weili Zhang should be ahead of Valentina Shevchenko in any female pound-for-pound rankings. Hell, amazing fight with JoJo. Outstanding. One of the best title fights in UFC history. You get all the credit in the world for that. You beat one of the most whatever champions of all time and Jessica Andrade to get that belt. And before then, Weili Zhang's really good. I don't mean to discredit Weili Zhang, but Valentina Shevchenko.
Real disrespectful right now. That's all.
It's
saying.
More so how highly I view Shevchenko. And I think she's one of the 5 best fighters in the world today. And she has been as dominant as any champion, period. Especially now with Khabib retired. Outside of him, like, who else who's been as good as her? Not just winning the fights, but you're not near this level. I am 4 or 5 steps ahead of you, and you're the top contenders. Not these other people who've challenged for belts in other divisions. Come down, and I wash you whatever way I feel like. I'm sorry, Jennifer Maya, you're going to try, but I don't know where you win this fight.
I'm just playing. Like, she going against Valentina, bro. Nah, that's bad. That's bad.
I don't see where she's better. There's no advantage to me. I remember when she fought JoJo Calderwood to get this fight, and she tapped her out real quick, and that jiu-jitsu was real, and it is. But if you can't get her to the ground in that way, you're not getting her to the ground like that. And when you can't, you're not seeing her on the feet. We saw it for Maya. It just happened when she fought Chukagian.
Right.
She couldn't get Chukagian on the ground to work the jiu-jitsu. Chukagian washed her on the feet, and we saw Shevchenko destroy Chukagian. Again, obviously, styles make fights. Nothing's the same. Always want to throw that out there. But there's no advantages.
Yeah, we don't have to.
There's none. This would be This would be on the level. It would be a bigger upset than Holly beating Ronda, in my opinion.
Yeah,
to me. Yeah, because Holly was
definitely not on a Ronda level as far as like superstar. You know what I'm saying? But I can see that upset being up there if she beats Valentina. Yeah, because I don't think anybody's picking Maya to win this fight. Like as far as the
level, Ronda at star level was at a whole other thing. But but Holly was really good, and Holly had a lot of hype coming in when she came into the UFC that people had just kind of forgotten about as she got a couple fights in. No, it's going to be a destruction. I don't know what round it's going to be. I don't care. It's going to be whatever round Valentina feels like finishing this fight. That's what round it's going to be. I'm sorry. I have much love to Maya. She can't. I could see Valentina being like, "Oh, you're a ground person. Bet, get in this clinch real quick. Now I'm taking you down. Try to throw that off your back. Sorry, I'm in side control already. You're not doing like it's. No, I'm sorry. It's Valentina by destruction.
Yeah, me too. I ain't even gonna argue with you about that point. I'm not even gonna argue that point.
Right.
All right, next fight we got the main event. If I can get to it. Yep, Davison Figueiredo versus Alex Perez. I probably butchered his last name, but
probably it was close enough. It was close to it. I actually like this fight.
I just call him the dude with the red patch.
With the red patch.
That's what I call him, man.
I'm good with people with patches in their head. The Lakers just traded for Dennis Schroeder. I'm good with people with patches in their head. All right, I'm good.
It's all right. It's okay.
I like this fight. I think this is going to be a much better fight than Figueiredo. I don't think he's going to destroy Perez the way he destroyed Benavidez. Okay. I think Perez he's gotten a lot better over his last couple of fights. He destroyed Formiga with leg kicks. Like, it's not often that you see TKO leg kicks come down. That's what happened in the first round. It wasn't a build-up, and he did this over 3-4 rounds. First round, I think it was 15 of his 29 significant strikes were leg kicks, something like that. And that didn't fight. Perez is good, and he has the skills to be able to counteract Figueiredo's aggression.
But
I don't think it's going to be enough.
Me neither. Like, you know who Figueiredo reminds me of, dude? You know you seen a rundown, right? You know the niggas in the forest, bro? That's who he reminds me of. You gonna beat him? Nah, bro. I don't see it.
Oh man, I know
the UFC trying to push Alex a little bit. Right. I know that. I see that. I get it. He one of your guys. You trying to get to the top.
Off the Contender Series, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
He's a good fighter, and I don't want to sell him short. I think this will be a more competitive fight than what we saw against Benavidez, who was just outclassed. He's quicker than Benavidez is. He doesn't have the power, but he's quicker, much better movement to me, and I think it'll be a little more competitive than people will realize. But Figueiredo reminds me of like young Aldo, like WEC, early UFC Jose Aldo. When you're like, what the fuck? Like, oh, you're fighting Uriah. That's Uriah. Oh, whoa, wait, hold up. You're not supposed to have that kind of power at this weight. You're not supposed to do people like that. I'm a fan of Figueiredo.
Boy got a mean overhand, man.
And he comes for blood. He ain't playing. He's about to go in and put on that work. I do think Perez, like I said, I think Perez is gonna look good. And I think it will be he'll gain some fans. I do think he'll gain some fans, but I haven't seen enough to where I'm going. He's gonna beat Figueiredo. But he's one of those guys that he's so young and he's getting better that he can. I've seen nothing that would suggest, but he's been working on it, and you'll see it in this fight. Like he's one of those that I could see that happening. Like when you're like TJ Dillashaw ain't got to do this. He's never. Whoa, when did he learn that? Wait, hold up. Huh? I could see it. He's better. But
and even if he loses this fight, at least you get the pause. At least he gets the championship rub. Like, all right, there. You know what I'm saying? Like, now you know what it takes to get to the top. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. I hate that we got to pause that. I hate that. I hate
pause. I hate
for stuff that like you've been using for years. And I'll never forget. I got so annoyed. I got paused for saying someone was a better ball handler talking about basketball.
Why?
And I'm like, we've been saying this and I got like multiple people, and I'm like, really? It's a stat on 2K. Like that's a
little weird. People take it too far.
Like I'm just like, come on. Like I hate it. That's a pet peeve of mine. I can't stand that.
Yeah, but being from New York, real pause is just in my vocabulary. Like,
it is. No, I get it.
Hold up. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it is.
Yeah.
100%.
What round? What you got? Decision?
No, I'll say third round.
Third round?
I'll say third round.
Knockout, TKO?
Yeah, TKO.
TKO
third round.
He gonna get Alex the fuck out of there in the first one. Like he one of them dudes that like me. I don't fear no man, but I have a problem with short dudes that know how to fight like that. That's Gerard. I ain't talking to you either. You don't know how to fight. But
Gerard,
him, if I ran into him, I have a huge problem. Like you know what I'm saying? He just one of those dudes that.
I'm sorry.
That's a bad day. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's a bad
It is. But I'm sorry. It's just funny to me because I think Gerard just got ethered 2 podcasts 2 days in a row.
Yeah, that's what's going on. Gerard is getting ethered out here on almost every podcast that he's Gerard. message to you. If you don't fight Dak, my nigga,
you gonna look.
Like, yo, for real.
It's getting close to that point, Gerard. Gerard gonna have to fight somebody real soon. It's gonna have to happen because you getting killed out here.
Frustrations out on me, Gerard. I didn't do anything.
Getting killed out here in these streets.
I didn't do anything wrong, Gerard. Don't be mad.
He's getting killed out here in these streets. Oh, it's sad. That's my guy, though. I hope it is. I hope I'm still waiting on my drinks, Gerard. I'd say this podcast is sponsored by 901 Daiquiris, but Corey motherfucking Hansford ain't not just yet, because I'm waiting on it. You said you're sending it out Monday. I'm taking you at your word that you did. It's probably in transit. We'll see. But look, I'd like to enjoy that while watching UFC 255 on Saturday.
Gerard, since we talking about it, with my shirt, bro. You know what? Off of Gerard.
Oh,
he backstage. He gonna curse us out as soon as this shit is over.
That's fine. I'll be the first.
All right. So how much time we got? We got about
10, 15 minutes.
Okay. Cut this down.
Got a couple good fight announcements.
Yeah, three 5-minute rounds. We could do that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? 3 5-minute rounds.
Yeah.
Boom. Uriah Hall versus Chris Weidman.
Uriah, this is your shot. Uriah, this is your shot. This is look.
The perfect opponent to do it with, by the way, who's on the spot.
Man.
Uriah, it's now, buddy. It's now.
It's it. This is come on. We need this, Uriah. We need this. You just got a little torch pass, little mini torch pass, because Izzy really got the torch, but you got like a little mini one, like you got like a little store-bought little souvenir one from Silva, and now you get Weidman, who ended the run. This is your shot, Uriah. This you can do this.
Couldn't have set it up more. Dana couldn't have set this up more perfectly for Uriah, because you know
that's gonna be the story.
Dana likes Uriah, like he wants Uriah to do well. He like, all right, you beat Silva, I bet I'm gonna give you Weidman next.
There's money in Uriah. There's money there with that style, with the flashy knockouts, with that stuff, which completely forgot to mention. Joaquin Buckley is on the undercard of the pay-per-view, who got that ridiculous spin kick knockout a couple months back. He's on the prelims this Saturday of 255. I think it might be the featured prelim if I'm not mistaken. So definitely watch that.
Gotcha.
But I forgot, I meant to mention that. But yeah, he's definitely on the card this Saturday.
Yeah.
But there's a shot here for Uriah. We say it all the time. UFC likes to throw these vets, these former champs that are kind of on the downside to people who they're really trying to build up. And that's what's happening here. And Uriah's got a shot to really, even though Weidman, I don't think Weidman's ranked, he's still very, very, very well known. And it's a good look. It's the same way, like, you know, when Adesanya beat Silva, like Silva was way below him on the rankings, but that look sometimes the numbers next to the name don't mean as much as the name itself. And Uriah has a shot here to do something big, and I hope he's able to take advantage of that because he's always had the skill, and that needs to happen. Let's go, Uriah, make it happen.
Who you got though?
I got Uriah. Weidman, what has he done recently?
Week 10 now.
I haven't seen much from Weidman. I feel like he lost his last couple fights, if I'm not mistaken.
I think both of those was by like TKO, bro. Like he's.
Let me look at me.
What's his name?
He won his last fight against against Amar Akhmedov, which I think was his return to 185.
I saw that fight, but even that fight, he didn't look like Chris Weidman. Though.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Before that, he lost 5 out of 6. His one win was a win over Kelvin Gastelum, which is very respectable. Yeah. And his losses were all to, it started with the Rockhold loss, then the Romero loss when he almost murdered him with a flying knee.
Yeah. I think that was pretty much the end of Weidman then. Actually.
Right. And then he lost to Gegard. Gegard's one of the best in the world. He beat Kelvin, and then he lost to Jacare, and he lost to Dominic Reyes. So look, I'm not. It's tough to just write someone off when your losses are to people of that caliber.
Like, I mean, he's fluctuating in between weight classes too. I don't like that shit either.
Right. It's always tough.
It seemed like that's why I can't pick Chris in this fight as much as I want to. Chris should win this fight.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? At the same time, when you fluctuate between weight classes like that, you're trying to figure shit out.
You're trying to find your path to the next thing. And just another wrinkle, this is actually a rematch. Old rematch. Can't really take much into it. It was back in 2010. They fought at Ring of Combat 31. Weidman beat him. Weidman won that fight, which was only Weidman's third fight of his career. That was Uriah's first loss. So Weidman's third fight of his career, Uriah's fifth fight of his career. They fought, and Weidman finished him first round. I'm assuming like ground and pound or something like that. It just says TKO strikes.
Uriah.
So that was 10 years ago. So very, 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 very different guys now. But just little story, little background to it.
Okay. So you still got Uriah though.
I got Uriah. Second round.
I got Uriah doing what he did to him first round. Get him out of there. Flying knee. I'm calling it flying knee. Flying. Weidman going to shoot like he always do because he hasn't been setting that up well lately.
Yep, and that's when you get caught.
Yep.
There it is.
Another bomb.
That's when I saw this one. Listen.
I knew you would like this one. I knew you would like this one.
Set your calendars. Because January might have your fight of the year. What's the last boring Max Holloway fight that you've seen? When? When has that happened?
Good point.
I think this could be legitimately this could be a fight of the year. Calvin Kattar I have been a fan of Kattar since I was fortunate enough to go to his very first fight in the UFC, which was on the Jones Cormier. Well, that would have been Jones Cormier 2, the one that got overturned, the head kick that got overturned. But Kattar was on the early prelims of that fight, his first ever fight, if I'm not mistaken, against Andre Fili. And I happened to be sat next to or near his family, which was, good God, they could have been in whatever Mark Wahlberg movie with a bunch of Boston people with that accent. Bro, listen, bro. Calvin Kattar, bro. I'm telling you. And it was funny because, I actually thought he was going to lose because all of his people were down talking Andre Fili. Like, this kid's never been in with anything like that, bro. He doesn't know. They don't know. I'm like, Doug, y'all don't know Andre Fili. But Kattar won the fight, obviously, and has been on a tear since. Calvin Kattar's just the kid is outstanding, and Max, I've wanted him to get this next shot, and to me, it's a great fight for Holloway to either show I'm still here. I should have, and I did have him beating Volkanovski in the rematch. I should be the champ, and
we agree on.
Yep,
that's something that we agree on.
Absolutely. I still won money because I bet on Volkanovski, so I still got money. I got money from my friend, but she was pissed, and I was like, "I'm sorry, but I agree with you. I thought Volkanovski won, but that's why we got judges here." That being said, either Kattar's going to take a huge step and either be next in line for that next title fight, or be maybe one fight away, or Max is going to go, I'm still here, and y'all robbed me that last time. I'm still Max fucking Holloway.
Right.
And it's going to be a war because they don't know how to. Neither one of them. Look, Kattar finished Jeremy Stevens. Let's not just scoot on past that. What's his who are his losses to Zabit? I'm not gonna kill him for having a very competitive, tough loss to Zabit. That's Zabit, and Cutter is right there. He's, you finished Jeremy Stevens. He beat Dan Ige, which was a great win. He beat Ricardo Lamas and finished him off clearly, which is a great win. He's finished Shane Burgos. Like, the man, listen, I cannot wait. I cannot wait for this fight.
You can't wait. Who you got? Put it on wax. I'm gonna do that to you. Put it on wax. Who you got?
I got Max. I
I
think
know that hurts because I know
it
Cutter.
hurts.
I know Cutter.
I like Cutter. I rock with Cutter. Normally, I don't rock with, as a Lakers fan. Normally, I don't rock with Boston, but Cutter is one of those exceptions, and I do rock with him. I think Max is pissed. I think Max really feels like he should be champ, and I've seen nothing that it's not like, oh, well, he lost the belt and he's kind of fallen off now. Like, technically, he's lost. No. He beat T City in between that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But he's lost 2 of his last 3 fights at worst. But them ain't bad losses. That Poirier fight was amazing.
Right.
That was
and he moved up in weight. I don't count that against Max.
He moved up in weight and damn near beat Dustin Poirier, who might be the next lightweight champion. I thought he beat Volkanovski in the second fight, and a lot of people feel the same.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like, oh, he's looking worse and he doesn't quite have. No, he still looks like Max Holloway.
Right.
And Cutter's got to show that he can handle that kind of pressure.
Right.
Max ain't gonna stop. He comes at you 100% for 5 rounds. You can rock him, and it's like, oh, he's almost out. He ain't almost out. He ain't almost out.
Right.
He's still there.
Right.
So I'm like I said, I set your calendars. I think it's going to be a fight of the year candidate. I'm that high on this fight, but right now I'm still leaning Max. I think he's pissed. I really do think he's pissed.
Y'all already know who I got. I mean, come on, man. It's Bless. What we doing here? Like,
I'll rock with it.
It's Bless up. Like, get my man his title back, by the way. Like,
right.
After we get done with him, I don't want to hear shit about not being no trilogy. And I don't want to hear none of that shit, bro. Give my man's Max his title back, bro. It don't even feel right being on this midget's hands. Like,
don't hate on him. I rocks with him. I rocks with him.
Man, I got to. I don't like the way they did my boy Max in the rematch. Ain't nothing against Volkanovski. Like he a great fighter. Like I don't have nothing against him. Like, you know what I'm saying? He could stand up, ground, like he's straight. It's not his belt though. Like it's not your belt to me. Like
I'm not gonna argue any of those points from you. Not one.
Not his belt. All right, last topic. Tony Ferguson's calling out Chandler. Do you care?
Be careful what you wish for, Michael Chandler. I mean, it's looking like it's going to happen. From what I saw, Chandler just said it's not going to happen next month, but that's looking like it's going to be his first fight in the UFC. And Michael Chandler is, you asking for it. And that's not to say I think he's going to lose the fight. I'd actually, if I had to make a choice, I'd probably lean towards him. I think Ferguson's chin is starting to come down a little bit. Maybe Poirier is just that. Not Poirier, Gaethje. Gaethje is kind of different in that regard. But Chandler will start you. Yeah. Chandler ain't no joke. Chandler ain't no little pity pat puncher either.
Yeah.
Chandler will knock you clean out. And Ferguson is we out here and we gonna trade, and Chandler's that way too, as we saw from his Alvarez fights. That's another potential fight of the year candidate for sure. It is. Let me not sell this short at all. Ferguson's crazy. We just talked about Mike Perry having a bunch of screws loose, and I'm not sure. Yeah, he's never mind. Let me not say that. He's in the range of Ferguson, but Ferguson's wild, and that is a tough fight to have.
I'm not gonna make you pick now.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna make it
official
right now.
It ain't official.
I'm not gonna make
it ain't
you pick.
official yet.
But I'm gonna be real. I'm very concerned about Tony. Like Tony gonna have to show me something this fight, especially after the beating he just took from Gaethje, bro.
Right.
I don't like seeing fighters go through that type of damage. Usually, when they go through that shit, they're not the same again.
Right.
So it'll be interesting to see. I got to do some homework on Chandler because he came over from Bellator. So
it will, and they. I mean, they've been going back and forth for some time. So both of them seem to really want to fight. So,
but to be real, Ferguson just wants to fight anybody at this point.
Right.
Like
he calls out all kind of people.
Yeah. So
what you called out Chandler. Hooker actually called out Chandler as well. I think he called him like they brought over like the boy band or like the swimsuit model or something. Like, I don't know. You made some kind of like dig at whatever Chandler does in his spare time. So I don't know. But look, this is when you come over with this kind of, fanfare, you're getting thrown into the wolves. We saw it with Alvarez. We saw it with old boy to rock with the Diaz, Gilbert Melendez. Same thing. Lombard. You come over with this kind of fanfare, they throwing you in with the wolves. Hooker called Chandler a fitness model. That's what he called him. But when you coming over with that fanfare, you're gonna throw into the wolves, and everybody who comes over to the UFC says it's different.
Right.
Okay, it might be we might have fought in the other octagon before, but it's different. And I don't remember if UFC's cage is bigger than Bellator's. I know it's bigger than most. But that's always kind of a thing, is their cage is bigger and you got a lot more room, and all of a sudden you're not used to having to cover this much ground. Then a gas tank get called into question, and now everything's different. Right.
Despite my questions, though, I wouldn't take El Kakui on the first fight. Not after El Kakui lost at that. Like, that's just. You sure this fight happening? Because I'm hearing Chandler versus Khabib too.
No. Khabib's not coming back.
I'm just saying Dana holding him from something, because usually he would have fought by now.
Khabib is not coming back for that. Oh wait, hold up. Maybe. So these are, and I'm seeing. So because I saw Chandler said there's zero chance that they'll fight in December, but they're kind of saying that, like, Ferguson was more or less implying that he took a different fight. That Chandler is taking a different fight. So maybe
Chandler's moving a little funny out here. I'm not going to front. That's why I got to do my research to see who this guy really is, because he's pretty much saying no to everybody that called him out.
Right. He said he wanted to fight. He's trying to get on. Ferguson wrote on Twitter that UFC told him that Chandler accepted another fight. Tony's still saying, if you want to fight, we could do it December 12th. He's calling for that. Chandler said 0% chance of fighting him in December. Yeah, so
3 weeks notice.
Right. So maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We'll see. You can never take people at their words in this game. And I'm damn sure not taking Ferguson's words, because half the time Ferguson might not even remember what he'd be saying.
Yeah,
so so I'm not gonna, say anything for sure. But it's a fight. It's a fight I'd like to see. But it sounds like, Ferguson is saying it ain't happening. Chandler's fighting someone else.
Right.
So we'll see. Nothing is sure until we see a full-on UFC announcement, because I don't even be trusting when Dana say stuff. You can't never take Dana at his word half the time.
True.
So
True.
When it happens, it'll happen. We'll see.
Okay. Well, shit, that's the show for today, man. You got any positive words for the people, bro?
Black Lives Matter. I'll leave it at that. Happy Thanksgiving. Hey, happy Thanksgiving. Happy family time.
Yeah. That's next Thursday.
That's next week.
Shit. Yeah, no show next week.
Sorry. Yeah. We gonna have some time before that.
Ain't no show before that. It gotta be. Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Yeah, we'll figure something.
We'll figure something out for next week.
We'll figure something out. But yeah, Thursday. Yeah, nah. I love y'all. I don't love y'all that much. Please, this is. Let's be real here.
But shit, I don't really got nothing for y'all. Just stay positive, man. Stay smooth.
There you go.
Stay prayed up. Bless. Like Max. Bless.
Like Max. Stay blessed, people.
But shit, we're gonna get out of here. No interest music, no exit music for y'all this week. We just out.
We hood shit out. We hood shit out. Peace.
Conversations at the shop Saturday. Come check us out. 3 p.m.
For sure, because it's gonna be NBA free agency officially starts tomorrow. So by Saturday, there's going to be a whole lot going on, people. So
I get you on the show Saturday.
I might be able to make an appearance. I'm not opposed to it. We'll see what happens.
Might have to get you on the show Saturday.
We'll see. For sure. But there you go. No outro music today, people. We hood shit out.
All right, yo.